There we go, we're live. Awesome. Let me get this thing rocking so this way we can get it going. Cool. Testing, should be good to go. Awesome. I just wanted to test a few channels, make sure we're up and going. I'm going to share really quick just a quick YouTube live. This way, if anyone chooses to jump on YouTube, this is the YouTube live. So YouTube live URL, they can jump on there. If anyone desires to jump into this, let me just make sure our meeting is here. Okay. This is a live meeting link, so if anyone wants, on every visit, anyone can join. I'm going to be sharing my screen inside of the meeting room. This way, you can see what I'm doing. Cool. Next thing is you can always copy what I do. Okay, so everything that I do is designed for copy. It's designed for you to do what I do. If I can do it and I can do money, I can make money, I can make passive income doing it, you can too. Like, I'm no different than you. I'm no better than you. I'm no smarter than you. Okay? You're the one that is smarter than me. You're the one that has everything going. That comparison means that you can do, right? So jump in, you can always do. I shared those things. Feel free to join. You can ask me any questions. But in this one, I wanted to focus on a few things. So one of the things is generating leads, right? Not just generating leads. We'll start from the start of it. I'll call it the garbage, where these leads, we're not paying for leads. The intent is so low that it's not going to really do anything. All the way up to extremely high intent, extremely let's go, let's buy, right? And we're going to be covering a lot of these things. So stick with me if you want to learn how we do it. And I'll show you even how we do it if you request some information. So we're adding new modules within GFunnel. So this way, again, if you want to see like, how the frig do we actually, like if somebody requests data from us, because we have a massive database. If they say, hey, Cameron, I focus, or hey, GFunnel, because they can technically fill out a form. I want to go after hair salons, nail salons, restaurants, XYZ. I want to go after those people and I need help. I need help getting started, right? There's a few approaches. One approach is you have money, right? You do paid advertising, you get money. The other approach is you don't have money, right? And that's okay. Wherever you start from is perfectly fine. In this specific live, we're going to walk through it just a little bit. We're going to walk through exactly what to do, how to do, everything. So that being said, let's dive in. So hopefully you can hear some music. If you can't hear some music in the background and you're like, oh crap, it's just voice, this is going to be boring, feel free. You can, I shared a YouTube live. You can click on that one. There's a little bit of music in the background. Okay. If you want to speak with me live, I shared a link too. You can jump on in, you can ask questions. Okay. Now let's just dive in right to leads, right? Prospects. So there's a few different channels of leads, right? And you have to be able to organize them correctly. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull up quickly a past example of it. So this way you have an idea of like a lead overview and kind of what to expect. So let me just authorize this really quick. Let's dive in. Okay. I'm going to go into a marketing overview. Okay. We have these marketing overview modules. So I'll go marketing overview. Okay. Marketing overview. Hopefully I just clicked the right one. Let's take a look. I did not. Fun. I think I experienced this last time. I had a bunch of these that for whatever reason weren't showing. Let's try again. Marketing overview. And I should have a specific SOP for this and kind of how it works. Maybe right here. Still isn't it? Okay, we'll just build it. Cool. We're just going to build a quick marketing overview so this way you can see what we're doing. The very first thing we're going to be focusing on is a few pillars, right? So the very first pillar is prospects, okay? Prospects. And we'll jump into the other things next, but the first thing is prospects. What the frig are prospects? These are like people that you can actually go after. They're not a lead. They don't probably know who the heck you are, right? But they're potential. They have some potential. They have some maybe something that will work, right? So we have prospects. Next thing we have is we actually have leads. These are people that are now showing some type of an interest, and we're just going to go with these two for now. Now, does this list go on? Yes, because you have people that are buying, people that are going through booked appointments, people that are going through it again, your sales process. So we're going to go through this right here, prospects, okay? So this is usually, you start at prospects if you're somebody who has $0, right? And there's nothing wrong with it. Like, don't be discouraged because you don't have any money. Who cares, right? You're a human. Who cares, right? You don't have any money. Great, start here, okay? Prospects. So what is prospects? What are prospects, right? Prospects are the potential of getting clients. So let me give you an example of prospects, okay? So let's say I went to Google. I'll just go to Google, and I'll just say like restaurants near me, okay? We'll just say that really quick, okay? So now we're gonna have this. So if you notice, Bing has their own search. They have their own piece, right? And if you just notice, there's a few things on here. So let's go to, I'm gonna do actually Google. I like Google better. Let's go to google.com. People are actually starting to use Bing more because Bing kind of schemes their ways into people's browsers. So if you notice, Bing's one of my main browsers, not because I chose it, it schemed its way in. Google's always my browser. Bing schemed its way in. That's fine, okay? Let's just go with Bing for now, okay? So let's just say we're approaching restaurants, okay? If we're approaching restaurants, well, now here's our people, right? We can jump in and we can say, oh my gosh, there's certain people, okay? Now, these would be considered prospects, okay? And you can even break it down even more and say, no, these aren't prospects yet. This is raw data. Perfect, great, right? Doesn't matter, okay? The key, though, is going in, diving deep and saying, okay, how do we use this information for good? And how do we help these specific people? Okay, so we're going to start with that. So what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to go back a little bit, and I'm going to say, okay, well, what else do we have for prospects, right? We simply Googled, searched, right? Let me just remove Google. We just searched restaurants near me. We got a few different restaurants in here. Okay, there's a few different restaurants within here. And then if you come down, and I'm just kind of showing you the layout, come down, you have Yelp, TripAdvisor, right? You have city guides. These now become directories. So if you notice, the directories are ranking a lot better than restaurants. So what ended up happening, okay? Bing, Google, those people, what they did is they say, well, my customers aren't really looking for directories. What they're looking for is this information right here. So they created a little section of information to get, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna leverage some information that is given to us, okay? So one of the things with the information, we're gonna come right here, and I'm just gonna click this really quick. So I'm gonna go and I'm just gonna say, let's go to Yelp, okay? Let's see really quick what Yelp actually offers, okay? So we have this, been there, love it, right? Been there, love it. We have reviews here, been there, love it, right? Browser nearby, best XYZ, best. So if you notice, what are they doing right here? We need to take a look really quick. What are they doing right here? Search. Yelp /search, right? With everything else. So let's kind of look at it on a directory standpoint really quick, okay? On a ranking standpoint. So first, again, who is ranking the best? Well, Yelp's ranking the best. And then we have TripAdvisor. So let's pull up both of these guys, okay? Let's kind of exit this. So we have, we have TripAdvisor right here. Okay, here's TripAdvisor. And then we have this guy right here. I'll just see if I can jump back to restaurants. That's okay, okay? Let's dive a little bit deeper and see what they actually have. Okay, so number XYZ restaurants here. So they have a link here. That link goes to the specific restaurant, okay? So if you notice, I can click here, What did it do? It just brought me right back to the directory side. So there's some listings in here. There's some information. Let's scroll down to the bottom really quick. Okay, and let's just see what they kind of have. So they have Austin, right? Let's just say Austin right now. It's connected to all of these different pieces to give them a little bit of push. Okay, hotels connected to these things to give them a little bit of push, right? Again, we're taking two things. Number one is prospects, and then how do we maximize what we can with the prospects that we have, with the information that we have. That's what we're doing. We're thinking of it as like you're squeezing the penny, and you're squeezing it as much as you possibly can to get every little bit of juice. I know pennies don't have juice, but take that analogy as it is, okay? They even have a Google ad in here so they can make some AdSense money based on their listing, because they understand where the traffic is. So they threw some stuff in to say, hey, we don't want to drive traffic anywhere else. We want the traffic to come through here. But okay, if you drove through the very, very bottom and you don't want any of our stuff, well, we might as well push you over here because you might want something like this, right? It's because they have very high traffic, okay? Let's take a look if the same thing exists here. So let's just take a look right here. I'm just going to show Austin, right? Austin search. Okay, so now we have a few different things. And I'm just going to show you the same thing. So we have these guys, a little slider. Let's make sure something in the meeting tab, stay in call. There we go. I'll just make sure I'm staying in that call. We have a few things right here. Okay, a few listings here. Let me turn down the music just a little bit. There we go. Okay, so we have a few different listings here, some information here. Okay, we have a map location here, right? Look at all of these guys. Really good map location. If I click there, it's going to take me to a new page. So you have very good link density, right? Because these are all different links to different pages. They all have their own specific page. These are all pages. These are all, again, information right here. And then sure enough, we have this bottom part, right? Trending search in Austin, right? So now it's just taking in the information. Location is this. So you have a placement right here. So you can see the dynamic information that this is pulling in, okay? The next thing is the link. Take a look at the search. It's just literally pulling. So look at the, I want you to look if you can see it. If you can't, maybe I'm in the way. But we're gonna pull this really quick. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe you can, maybe you can't, okay? Let me jump back. But anyways, there are specific parameters that they're trying to rank with, okay? So if you notice, there's information here and they're trying to rank and they're doing a decent job at it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna mimic some of the stuff that they're doing, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna come here and I'm gonna see if I can come into the United States. Weird, let's just see what we got. See if it'll allow me. It might not even allow me, right? So it's, where did it bring me to? United States. Let me just check what it's bringing me. Nope, it's not even allowing me to, so that's fine. We'll just focus on Austin. Austin for now, that's okay. Say Austin, Texas. Cool, and let me search. Okay, so now we have some information here. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to be focusing on specifically restaurants. Okay, so Yelp has like coffee shops. They have basically anything and everything that you can ever see. So I'm just going to come here and I'm probably going to type in restaurants. Okay, so let's just say I'm doing restaurants. Okay, so now I have some information here. Okay, let's just say this information is really good. Let's just say theoretically it's really good. So now how they laid it out is really awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of copy it. So I'm going to come to, this is a bot. I'm going to copy this bot. Okay, and I'm going to say extract data. Maybe you didn't see the page of it, but I'll just show you it really quick. I'm going to log in. Okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to start training. I'm going to use this little studio editor. Now we can do this on most everything. So why is this important? I'm going to show you on this side. So let's maximize, okay? So we have prospects, so what can we do? Well, we can grab in data, okay? This data can come in and filled into our prospects. What else can we do to leverage this piece? Well, if you notice, they created a directory, so why don't we? Why don't we leverage a directory as well? So I'll put this here, directory, okay. So now, what is needed? So let's say you're the individual. This is you right here. This is you, right? I'll just call it you. You're a GFunnel member. And let's just say you're like, you know what I really love? I would really, really love it if I could get these restaurants or get this specific traffic and these prospects. Again, what do we want? Number one, data. So we have to pull it. So usually we pull it through, I'll just call it robotic process automation, bots, scrapers, whatever the case it is. Let's just say we're dealing with raw data. So I'd come here and I am just going to grab this. I'm going to grab this data. I can then input this data into prospects, right? But I want to leverage it within our system. So let me jump back to our system really quick. Now, how would I do it within our system? Okay, so let's just say this is your account. Let's just say theoretically this is your account. And let's just say theoretically you have all of your software here and all of your software do specific things and they're really cool. Okay, let's just say theoretically it does that. Well, within this, you have something called a profile. This is a dedicated profile to your specific account. We also have organizational profiles that are dedicated to your specific account. Now, within each of those, we have something called listings, right? Leads, listings, right? So now these are, in a sense, your listings. So now we can come in here and we can grab some basic information, okay? And then we can come in here and we can, of course, change the look. We can change the feel. We can change whatever the heck that we want to change within here, which we will, right? You'll see some of the code that we'll add to make it look like a quote-unquote visible directory. And we want to match a lot of the things that they are doing. What I mean by that is, like, if you're like, well, what exactly are they doing? Okay, well, again, down here, you have some links. So let's find one that ranks better. Yelp ranks a lot better. You have crazy links, like crazy links. You have their footer, right? But you have all of this crap in here. Takeout's a link. This is a link. Food's a link. Breakfast is a link. Pizza's a link. All of this stuff is a link, and it's all a link based upon a search. So it's a search query. So now it's leading somebody to somewhere else, which is leading somebody to somewhere else. So think about it as like you have these loops or these trails that you're trying to also take robots on. So let's kind of grab all of that knowledge and let's condense it a little bit and say, okay, so what the frick do we need to do? Okay, so what we do as GFunnel is we come in and we design it. So we design this. We'll call it a directory, right? We'll just call it a directory for easy sake. From there, of course, you have the map of each person, right? Here's a map of each and every single person. But we have a location map too, so we can see every single location within a specific map as well. Okay, is that starting to make sense? Yeah. So now let's say as a member, you're like, hey, but I want more leads. I want to speak with specific business owners. It's in our best interest to go and grab that information to not only build the directory of that information, right? Meaning if you take a look, the emails, right? There's emails, there's the phone numbers, right? There's this. I mean, we might make it even one more step, but it depends. Like if we want robots to come in and visit our sites and scrape this information, we can, right? Because they can do the same thing as us, or we can kind of hide it. Either way, it's fine, right? We can create a module for that. So that being said, we maximize it. You, right? So what do you need to be able to do this? Well, you would come here and you would request. And I'm going to show you this built entirely. I mean, we have quite a few things already built, but I'm going to show you this built live. So that way you can see, again, most everything I've built is live. Technically, you can go back and watch all the videos and you can see how I've built everything. If I can build it, you can build it. It's pretty easy, okay? I guess it takes time, but it's pretty easy. So we need a request, and we need that request to then shoot a crawler for data. Does that make sense? And if we want this crawler to get live data, we're going to have to do some stuff here, okay? So now let's just pretend we're getting that information from Yelp, just for now, okay? So now what I do, so here's the Yelp site. We'd come here and we would get from lists. Okay, and let's say this is the information that we want to grab. Okay, I care about this information, so let's care about this information really quick. Here you go, sponsored results. Looks like that results sucked. So let's try a little bit better. Okay. So if I came here and I did from list, all right, let's just come here and let's go cancel. Let's just do from text. Okay, so what kind of text do I want? I just want just text. So the first thing that I want is I want that. And I probably want the image link, right? So we can pull the image link. Okay, I want this guy, copy, right? And we can call this visual text. We can call this whatever we want. I might actually do each step. I'll just do each step. Here, actually, let me see if I can skip past it. The only thing is item number 1. I don't like item number 1. So let's just see if it, so here's our sponsored and our sponsored result. Select manually instead. Okay, so if I did this is what I would select there. And then I would select, so this is the city, this is the location of it. Right, I'll probably select that. I would select open until at this point it's showing results. That's okay. Let me just see if I can pull that guy. My main thing that I want is actually the link. Let me jump back here. So I'd want probably this guy. Okay. And let's just see if it'll create a link for me. Okay, so it's starting to create a list for me. So if you notice, it'll start doing a list. And then what I do with that list, let me just make sure that this list is going well. Visual text, I'll just do HTML of that list. Okay, so it now just did those. The next thing I want is I probably want a link on there, but let's just say we did that. Okay, so let me jump into this output preview. Let's just say confirm. I'll call this one title. Check that. I'll call this one city, region. Copy that. Fill up with XYZ. This is a tag line. And this is HTML body. Okay, and now I'm going to see if it does it. Okay, so we have this guy. It pulled up most of the information, but we're kind of missing some stuff, right? We want to grab a link, so I'm going to say cancel that. Let's see if I can get it. And they might have done something. I'll actually try on this guy to see if this guy's even easier, because maybe we'll pull the information from TripAdvisor, but we'll do the link structure is similar to Yelp, right? So we can just come in here. Let's just do it. Let's just do this one. So I'll come in here, Restaurants Austin, copy that guy. I'll just come in here and I'll just say discard. Let's just discard it. I'll put in a new URL here, copy that, and I'll just start training this guy. Okay. And again, all I'm doing is going to feed this list piece. Well, again, there's a few things that will happen. So I'll kind of show you it. We'll run a bot. The bot will get data. This data then will feed into our system. So similar to when I come right here, I can find a specific profile. So let's say this is your specific profile. Then I can say, okay, I want you to access this specific profile. Once you access this specific profile, I want you to come in. I want you to go to listings, click there. And I want you to add these listings followed by this information, right? I want you to automatically add this to their specific platform. And then again, we're gonna squeeze it. So let's just say I do that. Now what happens is it creates this list for them. right? So they're going to have this big old list of locations and whatnot within their own platform. It's going to work for us as a directory. And then what we're going to do is we're going to kind of squeeze it a little bit more. Okay, so let's just say we did that. So again, request. So this is just the form. Everything is integrated through API. Right? This form triggers a bot, and we can trigger a form, right? We can trigger a database. It triggers this guy to say activate. Now this one will activate based upon the form that is given. Once it activates this, it goes, okay, thank you, activates this. It grabs this data, and then it starts into the prospect. So then it can grab this information and push it right into this person's CRM. Let's say in this case, it is lead connector because that's where it's organized. Push it right into their lead connector. From there, push it right into our directory. And for backlink juice, we're going to also push this into our listing manager. And what our listing manager does, I'll kind of show you. From here, it creates kind of a ripple effect. So there's 365 plus directories that it's going to link this information on, okay? This is in a sense what our listing manager does. So it's going to trigger a directory, it's going to trigger our listing manager, it's then going to put it on 360 plus directories, and this is all going to have the GFunnel link, GFunnel URL, okay? Now if we wanted to go further, we could, like if we want to connect the affiliate side to this, we can. And I'll explain kind of how that specific thing works. So this way it is beneficial for somebody to request leads from us, okay? If they request leads from us, we could technically come in on these directories and we could technically put in their, so it's a GFunnel URL, we could technically put that person's affiliate link. Now what does this do? They're requesting this data. Again, it costs a little bit of money. It's an investment. It costs a little bit of money, right? We'll do it for free first, but in the future it'll cost a little bit of money. It'll cost a little, like 4 cents, I think, 4 cents per lead, right? But what it's going to do is it's then going to run our bot. It's going to build them prospects. It's going to build a directory. It's going to build into our listing manager. That listing manager is going to then put their affiliate, so this person's affiliate system link on 365 directories. So now their affiliate link is kind of everywhere based off of those businesses. And as soon as a customer comes in and clicks one of those and comes back to this person, guess what happens? They make some money. Okay? They make money from our affiliate system. Does that make sense? Hopefully that structure and that process makes sense. Okay? Then, what is the responsibility for this person? This person, of course, wants to make more leads. They just got prospects and they're ready to go. So now what do? They push these through specific sequences, through specific marketing. They push these leads, right? They push them into a lead column, meaning they're starting to go out. Maybe we have AI, let's just put AI here, AI employees that are starting to automatically call these people, right? And now let's say our next step is a deal, let's just say. And what does a deal equal? It equals money, right? 1, 2, 3. It equals money. So if it can be pushed into lead, into an employee, into a deal that generates money based upon the services, well, again, that pushes back that money. The person can choose to fulfill it themselves, self-fulfill it, or they can choose us to fulfill it for them, which gains an affiliate. So either or, they can choose to fulfill the whole thing. And what are they going to use to probably most likely fulfill that account? They're going to use probably most likely the tools in which we give them. Does that make sense? So they have the tools, they have the resources, they have the support, they have the expertise, they have the training, they have anything and everything to self-fulfill. But some people don't want to self-fulfill, so what do? They can either self-fulfill, so there's two of them, self-fulfill, Or what do you think else that could happen? They could have us fulfill it for them, right? Or company fulfill. I'll just put outsource. They outsource it to us. This is what now happens. Self-fulfillment, right? Great. Well, what are they going to do? These specific accounts are then going to use most likely GFunnel, because we have all the tools and resources to manage each client. So most likely it's going to use a GFunnel account, which now this person, if they're on a normal plan, they end up upgrading. They upgrade from a $100 plan to, we just increased our price yet again, to a $397 plan. Now, why did we increase it? We added some more cool stuff. Anyone who had a solution prior to this increase keeps their rate in which they got it. I mean, we have some people that they joined us a long time ago. They're paying some of them it's like $97 per year, and they're getting the $97 per month plan. Some of them have started into the business sides, and they're getting the business deal, right, at a far significant less price than the $397 now. So yes, we continue to go in pricing because, again, money's generated, okay? But that being said, let's say you outsource this. What's the next thing that happens? Affiliate. So now let's say this is now your affiliate. Okay, I'm going to show you kind of how it all comes back around. This affiliate then comes back in. Whoops. Moving a little too quick here. Back here. Does that make sense? Let's just say the person doesn't even follow up with them. Let's say GFunnel follows up with them, but they're connected as an affiliate. They're going to gain an affiliate commission. So that way we can always give back the value that is delivered. Does that make sense? This is our lead module, okay? This is our lead generation module, so you can see it. This is how we can get our lead cost down to about $1 per lead or less based off of this specific system, okay? I know right now it looks kind of like simplistic, kind of, but yeah, that way you have it, okay? So now I've given you enough information, right? You have enough information, hopefully, right? So now that you have enough information, okay, the next thing, let's make sure it's built. Okay, let's make sure it's good. So that being said, so the one thing that we need is our forms. So we need a form submission. That's what we need, a form submission right here, form submission, okay? So now there's a few places that we can put this form submission. So we can put one of those specific form submissions. We can bring up our Flows AI if we're dealing with AI. Okay, so Flows AI will be able to do it. In Flows AI, we can just build it in our, basically our forms. So I could come here, new project, I can go to our forms, and I could build it right here. That's one of the pieces, which I'll probably end up doing it here, okay? Another place that we could actually build our forms is our lead connector piece. So if I jump into this specific lead connector one, I could then jump into GFunnel. And then within your lead connector, you could come in here and you can actually build this thing here, right in our forms, okay? So now we're gonna take a look and to see, well, which one is the very best to build this specific thing in. So again, what we're looking for is a few different things. So first we're looking for a submission. We want a submission, and we want that submission to, since it is kind of a payment submission, right? Because they're going to say, I want so many leads. They're going to say, I want this, I want that. We have to then create an invoice system for it, okay? So if they did this, if we did it for free, great, we can. There could be a cost of money for this, right? Or we could come into here and we can do it for a cost. So that means when somebody fills this thing out, we need to then have an invoice system based upon the collection. So then we can run this and we can manually do this. This specific one is going to trigger an invoice or a payment for them to continue this process. Once they continue this process, whether it be with a coupon or whatever, again, now they can start it. Now, why would somebody ever pay for Leads. Well, because people do. As long as you can get the correct information, people end up paying for the leads. And that's what our goal is, right? And we have some deep systems. So maybe this system might be actually free. I might just do it for free to help build people up because, yeah. And maybe they do a more enriched, like, so they have the choice. Do they want the free leads? Submit the free leads, or do they want enriched leads? If they want enriched leads, maybe it costs them a little bit of money. And that's where that thing comes into play. So either way, we're going to build it. Okay. So coming in again, so we need to make sure that this guy is working right. And if this guy's not working right, again, it's just Python. So all we have to do is say, okay, this one's not working right. Well, what is? Let's just trigger a Python. Okay. If we do trigger this guy again, we can just simply create an API. And this API can then trigger this thing to turn on and trigger the specific information to act. Okay, so we can again build it within here if we're wanting, and we can build it within a few other pieces. So that's one of the things that I'm going to be building. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to be building and adding is our affiliate system. I'm going to be making it a little bit more cute, right? So we have an affiliate system. The affiliate system looks like this. It's just not that cute. Okay, so I have home. We're going to be rebuilding the pages for this piece. Again, we interconnect this into somebody's Go High Level account, lead connector account, so they can come in and they can see all of their affiliate commissions right in here. But we're going to be adjusting it just a little bit so that way people have their assets. This is mainly for assets, and they'll have a separate one for commissions. That's what we feel is the very best one. But that being said, let me see if I can jump into here, referrals. No. Affiliate referrals. I don't know if this is a page or not. I'm just guessing. Oh, it is. Cool. So same thing, right? If you notice, when I'm sharing stuff, I just share stuff. And when I share stuff, people sign up. And when they sign up, again, I have 122 people that signed up through this, just the affiliate system. And when they sign up through this affiliate system, guess what ends up happening? We gain money. That's how it works, right? Pretty easy. We have a list of it. This will be just beautified, and then what this beautified list will do, people will be able to send invites, and people will be able to collect their revenue from here, okay? Jumping into stats, we would have stats on here so people can see, again, their commission paid out. They would be able to see, in a sense, all of this information here. And then on the banner side, we would have a quick overview of everything. So that being said, that's what I'll be working on today. I don't want to bore you with the code, but I just wanted to share with you some of the modules that we'll be adding. We'll be adding these specific modules within here, so this way we can help people grow with leads, help people grow with prospects, help people integrate their systems, so that way it's not like, what do I do next? It doesn't work that way. That way they can actually get things growing. But if you have any questions, if you're like, Cam, this is crazy, what the frig are you doing? And you want that call, that communication, as always, I mean, you can always like give me a call. You can always have me do some custom work for you, right? Because that's where I focus. I focus process engineering, and this process engineering within GFunnel helps us grow and expand. And again, GFunnel as a platform is designed so you can help, or so we can help you organize all of the chaos in your life, all the chaos in your business, and any and all operational pieces that you might have. That being said, my name's Cameron. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to reach out. Thanks much. We'll see ya. Bye.